Welcome to week 1 of college football.
Oh my gosh, I cannot wait. So, on today's episode, we're going to highlight the Corso goodbye, which we're all secretly dreading, but also a little happy that he's going on with his life. And then it's college football. It's finally here. So, we're going to do week 1 previews because it's officially week 1, even though last week doesn't count. And then we're also just going to go over our UTF moment of the week. So, I'm ready if you are ready.
We're gonna throw down some punches. We might get knocked on the ground. We're gonna use our hot token. And no, we're not going down.
I feel like we should start with Corso. And
Yes.
maybe as part of our tribute to him and kind of what he's meant to us. Because I've woken up with Lee Corso on Saturday mornings and had breakfast with Corso and Herb Street and Howard for so many years that this is going to, I think, leave a little bit of a gap. So,
Yeah.
maybe we can just start by sharing our favorite Corso moment or moments.
Ooh, favorite.
I know, it's
Corso
hard,
moment.
right? There's like a
Okay.
couple that stand out, though.
100%. So what I loved about Corso is he brought this like quirkiness to game day. Everybody gets so serious with their suits and all this other stuff. And so I love my very, very favorite Corso moment is when I think it was Harvard was playing Yale, and this kid must have been every bit of like 7 years old, 8 years old. And, they're doing the picks of who they think's going to win this game. And this kid goes, "Go Bulldogs." Like he's rooting for Yale. And Lee Corso goes, "Not so fast, midget." And first of all, I feel like every jaw in America dropped because 1, it's a 10-year-old kid, like relax. But 2, like you're not supposed to say midget. Like that you can't say that on television. And it was just so hilarious because I think even Kirk Herbstreit was like, "You can't say midget," but also like it's a kid, Lee, like relax.
And with you, there was this like 5 or 6 year period before he had his stroke that he just kind of, I feel like, got into this like, I don't give a shit. I'll say what I want. I'll do what I want. Because
Yeah.
my memory is kind of across the same lines. They were
Yep.
doing the picks. They had their guest picker out. I like went back and watched the video and I couldn't even recognize who the guest picker was. It was like so old.
Yeah.
And so he's picking Ole Miss and Arkansas, and it was clearly a game that Arkansas was supposed to win the week before, and they didn't. And he said, "I got to go with Ole Miss because Arkansas shot their wad last weekend." And Herbstreit's like, he's so shocked, and then he gets that real high-pitched laugh that he gets. It's like, like I'm so uncomfortable right now.
Right.
And I think that's what started the apologies. There were a couple of things that he said on the air where at like the first time out or the first commercial of the game that played after game day, he would have to come on and like do an apology. "I apologize. That was inappropriate. I'm sorry if I offended anyone." I think that was the first one that came out, but it's just like, that's what I'll miss about him. Is
FCC's
he
got
was
a
just
file on him.
totally 100%, but it was just like, he said what was on his mind. And honestly, what the rest of America was pretty much thinking.
So I think with Corso's departure, I think that there's a lot of things that we're going to miss, but I think, 2 things in particular. Right before Big Noon kickoff, there's always the headgear pick. And I think that depending on what school you root for, that has both a negative and a positive kind of memory that has to, I just don't know. So I think 2 questions. 1, Lee Corso is moonwalking out of game day. Does that mean that the Corso curse is going with it? Or do we think it's going to linger still?
God. So have we confirmed that the Corso curse is that's universal? That's not just something that Alabama fans make up?
I mean,
Do other schools think about that? I
they
assume
have
so.
to. They have to.
And so the Corso curse, for those that are unaware and have not been impacted by it, maybe we'll take a step back. So the Corso curse is when game day comes to your college campus, they do the show, and then Corso puts on your mascot's head, which you would think, yay, that's what we want. But for a good long stretch, every time game day was in Tuscaloosa and he put on the Big Al elephant head, Bama lost. And so it got to be this thing on campus that we called the Corso curse, that if he put on, we were rooting for him to not pick Alabama because please do not, don't put it on.
Yeah.
And so that was the Corso curse. I would be interested, and maybe our listeners can verify if the Corso curse was more than outside. I think it was in the SEC.
Yeah.
I can verify. I think it was in the SEC, but
for sure.
Do other schools feel this way too? Because I think he had a more than 50% win rate on that. So
Yeah.
maybe it was just like that would be something interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting to
I
know.
would absolutely love to hear that too. I really would. And with that being like such a big part of the, I feel like tradition, because that was always kind of like my 5 minute curtain call. Hey, get your snacks, get your drinks. We're about to kick off. Do you think they will replace it with something else? I feel like that was such a big segment of the show.
So I hope they don't. And maybe I'm in
Yeah.
the minority of this, but I really hope they don't. I hope that they let that be his legacy and they don't bring something else in. And God forbid, don't give Pat McAfee something to do. Like, love the guy, brings a ton of energy, but please don't let him like rip his shirt off to have the school paint color on his chest. Just don't make
Yeah.
it gimmicky. Like, let it leave with respect with Corso and let that be his thing. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, I'm right there with you. I think it's going to, God, I hope it's not something super cheesy like the mascots fighting in like a WWE ring. Like, I really hope it's not anything like that. But if they do replace it, I hope that it's something that pays homage to Lee on a weekly basis, because that really was like a huge part of the tradition of game day. But if they let it, honestly, if they leave it be and that's that, I'm kind of okay with that. I feel like that's a good era of game day that we can kind of keep as a good memory. I'm okay with that. I just don't want them to do something ridiculous like Logan Paul dressed up as the Buckeye versus I don't know, whoever the guest picker is of the week dressed up as. I don't want to see that. I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah. And I don't think the fans of the show want to see that either. Just remember how
Yeah.
negatively they reacted to like the big personality of Pat McAfee in that first year. And he was trying
for
to
sure.
inject like a lot of fun. And it was like, no. Like, we like our show like fun, but not that fun. Not like a frat party. Okay.
100%.
So here's a little bit of a sad thing. And this will be like our last thing we talk about with Lee Corso. So
Okay.
I saw a clip on social media today of Southwest Airlines, the
Okay.
gate attendant for the Orlando to Columbus flight. They did like a tribute to Lee Corso. And it took me a
that's
minute. I was like,
nice.
oh, how cool. Like, that's so cool. And then
Yeah.
the guy who was shooting the video pans over and Lee Corso's sitting there in like the elderly pre-board section.
What?
And I was like, wait, he's at the gate? Like, ESPN put him on Southwest Airlines for his last show?
Please
He
tell
seriously
me
was
that
there
a
and like,
promo. They couldn't let him take the PJ for his last go round. Like,
I
come on,
know. I was
ESPN.
like,
I know we're hurting for money,
really?
but like,
He had to fly
no.
Southwest. He didn't even get to fly first class. And look, I'm a Southwest card holder. Like, I got my companion pass.
Rach, there's
But
no such thing as first class on Southwest, first of
I
all.
know. Like, they didn't let him fly first class on like another airline. They put him on Southwest, like the budget airline.
Listen, if ESPN has enough, first of all, if incoming soapbox, if ESPN has enough money to get in a fight with Fox to pay Pat McAfee the amount of money that he's being paid to be on television 8 hours a freaking day, to pay Cam Newton the amount of money that they're paying him on his new contract, to pay giant forehead Stephen A. Smith to be on TV screaming and getting everyone's blood pressure up, they can spare just a couple of coins to put Lee Corso on the private jet his last game day episode. Like, it's the
I was
least
like,
they could do.
I was beside myself. Maybe that was his choice. I don't know. I mean, he seems like a man of the people, but also I was
old
like,
ass did not
that was
choose
embarrassing
there's no
to
way.
do pre-board on Southwest Airlines.
They better build a statue for that man in Bristol. That's all I'm saying.
It was just like, this can't be real, but it was. So we are super pumped. This is probably the greatest opening weekend of college football ever. We have
I
3
agree.
top 10 matchups. First time that's happened since 2017. There are 91 FBS games between yesterday, Thursday night, and Monday night. 91. I'm like, my ass isn't getting off of the couch this weekend, and I
love
so
it.
excited about that.
Oh yeah.
So where do you want to start? Do we want to start with the big one, the real big one? Texas, Ohio State, our favorite team that we love to hate.
I think we have to, because there's so much. Rach, I can't even get started in it just yet. So we do have to start with this game. It's a huge, huge, huge matchup. Texas and Ohio State. I think that it's fair to call this like a week 1 clash of the Titans. This is for everything. This is for clout. This is for respect. This is for Heisman watch. I mean, this is for everything. God, you know how much I hate Ohio State. So I think a part of this conversation, we have to talk about how Ohio State put their foot down. God, they're so soft. It just makes me so mad thinking about it. And they got so mad about Dave Portnoy, who was like diehard Michigan fan, not allowing him in the stadium. Are we serious?
For Big Noon Kickoff, I know he's now part of the crew for Big Noon Kickoff, and Ohio State's like, that's what they're focused on this week. You're playing the number 3 team in the country, and you're going to like be distracted by not letting Dave Portnoy into the stadium. That's where you're focusing your efforts. Cool. I mean, for that, they get the UTF Wackos That Function of the Week statue. I mean, how petty could you be? It would be like if game day was in Auburn
petty.
and they're like, Nick Saban can't come. Come on.
It's so ridiculous. And here's my thing. So you're telling me that you have spent all of this money on your, what is it, multi-$20 million roster that you've got now full of NIL deals? So your team and your preparation for this game is so fragile that you can't have what is essentially an overglorified YouTuber, not to like belittle Barstool Sports or anything like that, but he's an overglorified YouTuber, that your program is so fragile that is going to cause enough distraction to where you don't feel like you're going to perform the way that you're supposed to. Excuses, excuses, excuses. Ryan Day has done this time after time. And like, I, for one, am absolutely sick of it. I can't.
And Michigan hasn't banned Urban Meyer from coming in and being on Big Noon Kickoff, which is, I mean, it's like literally the same thing. This has to go back to the flag planting last year. Like, are they still butthurt over the flag planting last year? I mean, they just look like fools.
Like you're telling me, yeah, you're telling me that we as big, strong men who lead football organizations are so sensitive that we can't even be in the same building as somebody who I can't get over like the softness of this puckered butthole down there in Columbus. I just like really can't. It doesn't make any sense to me. You've got to get over yourself, bro. Like you're either going to win the game or you're not. It's sports. Like it's just the way that it is. Get over yourself. Get over yourself.
I think the craziest thing about this matchup between number 1 and number 3 is that there is so much, like so many question marks, so many unknowns on both sides of the ball. Julian Sayin at Ohio State has not even played a snap of college football. Like this will be his first start in his first game as a quarterback. Yep, highly recruited 5-star quarterback, but I think we've seen other 5-star quarterbacks, Jackson Arnold, not pan out to be what he is. Also, Ohio State, as well as Texas, lost a lot of players in the draft last year. So not that they don't have the caliber of talent and they have recruited very well. But again, a lot of these players are starting on these teams in these positions for the first time. Also, Ohio State has brand new coordinators on both sides of the ball. So I think there's a lot of question marks. Of course, if you're throwing to Jerry, you've got a pretty good guy to catch the ball. They've got an amazing tight end. Like they have a good receiving core.
Right.
But can you imagine coming in as the number 1 team? You're a true freshman. You're starting the game for the first time and the expectations are that you're going to beat the pants off of the number 3 team. That's a hell of a lot of pressure. Not to mention Arch Manning on the other side of the ball has the most amount of pressure I've ever seen out of anyone who has ever come into the game.
Which is crazy because he's only ever played like what, 5 or 7 games or something like that. He's not necessarily a veteran.
He's played like 10 quarters.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's maybe he started 3 games last year while Quinn was out, so I take that back. But they weren't against like elevated teams like this. I think there's going to be a lot. I think there will be a lot of turnovers. I think it's going to we're going to look and say, are these quarterbacks overrated at the end of this? And no, they're not overrated. These teams are powerful. I think it's going to be lower scoring. I don't think it can be a shootout. But, I mean, maybe I'm wrong on that.
I don't think so either.
I think 21-17, 21-28, something like it's not going to be, I don't think it'll be in the 30s. Maybe it will. What's the over-under? I haven't even checked because I'm not going to bet on any of these this weekend. I'm going to, restrain myself.
God.
Are you putting $1 bets on things?
I'm putting $1
That's your specialty. Not going to commit too much.
Can't commit too much money. I'm not strong enough in my betting skills. All right, so we've got. God, I'm just so excited. Kickoff is early. It looks like. So Texas is the favorite. The spread is 1.5.
It hasn't moved then. It was 1.5 yesterday as well. Okay.
Yeah, they're
But
saying
Texas, wait, Texas is plus 1.5 or minus
no,
1.5?
Ohio State is negative 1.5.
Okay, so Ohio State's favored. Yeah, I think I'd take Texas in the
And
points there.
so they're saying that the total points is going to be 47.5. I'm going to take the under on that. I don't think it's going to be that. I don't think it's going to be that high.
Texas's defense it's insane. It's insane. I think it's going to feel more like an NFL game in a lot of ways.
I agree. But
Arch
also,
can run.
I also kind of disagree with you. I think it's going to be a little bit of a blowout. I think that, they've got these total points that they think is going to be 47.5. I think it's going to be like Texas is going to have like 20 something points up on Ohio State. I really do. And I think that again, I don't trust freaking Ryan Day. I think he is preparing everybody to lose, and he's going to have all these excuses for why they aren't ready. And that's the reason. Sark is not a bad coach. He does a really, really good job developing his players. I think Texas is going to whoop them. I really do. But I'm also only betting $1. But I think he's going to whoop them.
I think, manages the mindset a lot better than Ryan Day too, which
100%.
makes him a really special coach. And he's done that with Arch over the years, right? I mean, to keep a 5-star guy like him on the bench for as long as he did, I mean, that was developing that mindset, right? I mean, you've got a kid who has a freaking passing camp named after his family. He's going to be successful. But the difference with Arch versus the other Mannings is he's run more yards in his 6 games that he played last year than Peyton and Eli did in 10 years combined, right?
Thank God he got that speed from his mama, because he's going to need it. And I think
dad, right? His dad was a wide receiver, for sure.
And I think we're going to see, I hate to even say this, but I think that we're seeing a little sprinkle of the teachings of the great Saban, where we're trusting the process. I think that he's been instilling that in his team, and it's going to benefit them in the end. So this is going to be, first game on Saturday. I am pumped. So this is going to be a good one. I'm excited.
The other one I'm real excited about is the matchup of the Tigers, which not Sabertooths, Marissa. You're never going to live that one down.
I'm never going to remember because I have other things to be thinking about. But LSU versus Clemson, pumped. I'm also very pumped about this. I think this is going to be interesting. Brian Kelly versus Dabo, Dabo, who didn't want to dabble in the transfer pool at all, versus Brian, who is absolutely, this is make or break for Brian Kelly. He absolutely has to do well this season. And I think that's crazy because we're going to see kind of coaching carousel watch really early in the season. There are a lot of coaches that are going to be on the hot seat really early this season. But I don't know. I think LSU's got it. I don't think that I've ever really rooted that hard for LSU before, but I think that they've always been a very powerful team defensively. Their offense can sometimes feel very unstoppable. Clemson's not ready.
You don't. So I think Clemson's going to win the game. I do. I think Clemson has the squad this year. They brought over the defensive coordinator from Penn State. Penn State had a badass defense last year, and Clemson gave up the most yards on defense in the ACC. So their weakness last year is going to be fixed. I think Klubnik is a solid quarterback, and if he can control his decision making, last year he had a weakness around making bad decisions under pressure. If he can control his decision making and make good decisions, hopefully he's been working on that in the offseason.
Yeah.
I think he is a quarterback. I don't think he's going to win the Heisman. A lot of people do. A lot of people think he is a Heisman favorite. I don't think he's Heisman winning material, but I think that he has a powerful receiving core around him that he has played with for a good number of years now. I think that they have the defensive line to hold off LSU and Nussmeier. I think it's going to be a close game, and it's going to come down to which quarterback can control the ball and control picks throughout the game. It's going to be close. I wouldn't bet
it's going
this
to be
one.
Close. Yeah, I don't have any money on this one.
I think
But
Clemson
you're right.
because home field.
True, home field advantage, but Cade's got to be quick. He can't sit there in the pocket and wait. LSU is going to swallow him whole on every single play. So sticking with my guns.
If LSU's portal players, look, I'm acting like Corso now.
Not so fast.
if the portal players that LSU picked up, which they were a top portal class last year, if they can step up and make an impact early, that they could also, they could actually blow Clemson out. So I'm kind of backtracking on what I said. I do think that Clemson has an edge in this game, though, with it being at home and with, some of the defensive talent and receiver talent that is returning this year. I think it's really evenly matched. And will Brian Kelly go 0-5 in starters? That's the other thing.
He has to. He absolutely has to. He has got to start this season off on a high point. Otherwise, they are going to get crushed on the back half of this season if they don't start out strong. They've got to do it.
Both teams need to make a statement. And Clemson has fewer opportunities to make a statement than LSU just based on the conference and their schedule.
For sure.
So I think it is kind of a must win for Clemson. Where do you want to go next? Notre Dame, Miami?
Let's go Notre Dame, Miami. I think that one's going to be really interesting. So I put some money on, I bet $2 on Notre Dame in Marcus Freeman. I think that I think every year they get better and better, and this is going to be their year. So I am really excited. I think Miami's going to go down. I think Sid from Ice Age is going to blow it under pressure. He had really big shoes to fill. I think that culture shock is going to hit him all at once. He's had all of preseason to get ready, but he also spent all of preseason dicking around. So this is going to be really interesting. And I think that he's not going to be as well cocooned as he was up in Athens. I really don't see it happening. I also don't really want him to win. I kind of want him to learn his lesson because he did go down to Miami and act a whole fool the whole preseason. So I hope he learns his lesson during this. And in saying that, I'm saying go Fighting Irish.
I'm riding the line on this one. We talked a little bit about it last week in Transfer Portal Tender that I think Carson Beck does have a chance of being successful. But I also think that CJ Carr, who has been patient and sat behind Riley Leonard for a couple of years. He was patient. He waited. He learned the system. I think he is the man for the job, but he's unproven. He's unproven in these big environments. And I think going down and playing in Coral Gables is going to be intimidating for him. But then you've got Jeremiah Love, right? He's the most talented tailback in the country. I think that we can't discount the impact that Love's going to have to help kind of bail CJ Carr out a little bit. Miami has an excellent offensive line. I think that's going to give Carson Beck the time to throw that he's going to need. I don't know who I would pick. I wouldn't bet any dollars on this. What was the line? I probably should have looked at all of this. I'm going to ask you.
I know.
Because we don't have our betting guru.
So for Notre Dame, let's see.
Refill my glass. We're not going to end the episode yet. I gave myself a small pour.
That's hilarious. So it looks like we got Notre Dame -142, Miami +120. The spread is Notre Dame -2.5 with a total of almost 50 points. So
wow. Okay. So Notre Dame is favored. That's interesting.
Look, Sid from Ice Age has got to get his eyes on the prize because he's been so busy looking in two different places. He's got to focus. He has not been focused the entire preseason. And again, like you said, he's got enough cushion with his team to give him that time to think about where he's going to go. But he's not going to have those big burly guys that he had up in Athens to protect him. He will get flattened if he doesn't get it together. So,
and unlike Cam Ward, he can't scramble around and buy himself time. He is a pocket passer through and through. We'll see. I feel so non-committal on a lot of these because I'm ready to see if the hype around a lot of these programs is truly just hype or how the teams are coming together. I think it's so hard now because of the impact that the transfer portal has. And that's why I don't bet anything for the first couple of weeks of college football because I feel like I don't know anything. And I know Vegas doesn't know anything either, but I feel like the chance of success is so low. It's all just luck. It's not smart.
I think going into this season was weird because we didn't have that exposure to our teams like we have in other seasons.
Yeah.
So much of the preseason was focused around the transfer portal and NIL deals, and we didn't have any spring games. So we don't really know what to expect. So it's hard for us to feel good about how these teams are going to perform. But I also feel like last season spoke volumes for a lot of programs. So statements will be made tomorrow.
Statements will be made, but you know what I do love, and I think I said this on last week's episode, but I'm going to reiterate it. I love that with the playoff format, a loss to a good team this early in the season really has zero impact. And I think that's what makes it fun. It's not like you don't get dinged for playing a tough game in the first couple weeks of the season, or even throughout the season. Like, it's all kind of taken into account and weighed. It could have been done better last year. I think we all agreed on that. But yeah, I think that a lot of these games have impact for playoff seeding, probably only.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right. I think we got to go to our marquee game, Alabama versus Florida State. Oh my gosh. This game feels really wild already because I feel like the only quarterback in the whole of the NCAA that's more Delulu than Diego Pavo at Vandy is this Castellanos guy, because he has just the guys down there in Florida State have just been like, I mean, I'm being fully prepared to say, oh, well, I was totally right, or I was completely wrong, because these guys have been talking so much smack. Like, I don't again, this goes back to, I didn't see a spring game. I don't really know how Alabama is going to perform. Like, both of these teams, again, this is going to be like a make or break. Kalen DeBoer has to do a great job this season. He absolutely does. Again, I kind of think that we've got some of these players that are playing on Saturday that have sat behind multiple teams. They have waited their turn. They have trusted the process. Is this going to work out in their favor? And that's how, we're going to be watching Ty Simpson, because he has sat for a very, very long time. He has been loyal to Alabama. He didn't even dip his toe into the transfer pool. So what is this going to say about the program? But again, Kalen DeBoer has got to get this squad together. I know that people are sick and tired of seeing Alabama win football games. That's the whole reason behind this 12-team playoff, and even beyond there. I will take that to the grave. I know that's why they changed it up, because it was getting boring. No one wanted to see Alabama play every single January. As a fan, I got bored of seeing Alabama play every single January. This is make or break. Mike Norvell also has to do really, really well. His 2023 season was so stellar. We actually thought that the Seminoles were going to be a force to be reckoned with. But then last year was like a complete nosedive of a plane crash of a season. Like, we didn't know what the hell happened.
2-10.
So, 2-10. Like,
and
what
Norvell's
happened?
throwing up like locker room material for our team. Have you seen? He's come out and said, well, I mean, there was a reason I didn't take that job. And I'm like, I don't think anybody came knocking on your door and offering you that
nobody
job.
offered you that job. Nobody saw how you played less than half of your schedule last year. And they said, you know what? By golly, we got to get that Norvell's. Nobody said that, sir. Nobody said that. Relax. Again,
that
with
makes
the
you feel
Delulus
good.
down there. Yeah. So is Alabama going to blow up Florida State? I don't think so. I think it's going to be a tough game. It's supposed to be raining in Tallahassee. It's going to be a little bit of the elements against them, but
we're down a running back. I mean,
Jam Miller is not playing.
I know that hurts us.
That hurts us. It's scary. It's Ty's first game. There's a lot of factors that are working against us in this game. So it will be very interesting to see what happens. Believe it or not, I put no money on this game because I am just as nervous as probably every other Bama fan and probably every Florida State fan, because we really don't know how this is going to go.
The line's still 14.5. I did look at that one because I keep thinking the rain's going to continue to bring it down. I've watched a lot of like Sports Center and a lot of the shows this week, and everyone's like, I can't with a straight face think that Florida State's even going to remotely be competitive in this game. And I'm with you. I'm a little more conservative. I don't know if it's the fan in me wanting to hedge my bets a little bit, but I think Florida State's going to hang in there. I think that Ty Simpson ultimately is the better quarterback. I think Ryan Grubb at offensive coordinator, they are going to match each other in the systems. I mean, Ty Simpson, unlike what we've experienced the last couple of years with Milroe, is that he comes to the line and he has a plan. It's not like, okay, snap me the ball and we'll figure it out, which I think is what gave us like heart attacks last year. I like a plan. I think he's going to be a great quarterback for us. Hopefully, I'm not wrong.
For sure.
But we haven't seen him.
No, we haven't seen him play. I think the only person that we have seen play that we have full confidence in is Ryan Williams, who's officially 18 years old. Congratulations, you can now vote. And it's going to be, again, hard to have confidence. It's hard to say. I think that the elements, the weather, being in Tallahassee, it's not going to work in our favor. And Kaylin said that, we've been preparing for this. We've been preparing for this. We've been practicing with soap and water on the balls and things like that to get them acclimated to things being a little bit slippery, which I guess will work out, or they're just going to be used to having the ball slip out of their hand. I mean, I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. But this will be very telling, I think, for us as fans, is how the rest of the season is going to go.
Agreed.
Plus, we'll have to see what Gus has got up his sleeve down there in Tallahassee.
That's the other thing in the back of my mind.
I know. All right.
Do you want to roll on over to Chapel Bill?
Let's roll on over to Chapel Bill and the queen of trademarks, who's just keeping us on our toes. My God, I've not seen anybody. I've never heard of someone talking about their girlfriend more in the world of sports since Taylor Swift. This is just absolutely insane. So we've got UNC playing TCU on Monday. We don't know if Bill Belichick still has it in him to be this elite level of coaching to bring UNC football into the limelight. We just don't know. It's really hard for us to say. I mean, we got down at TCU, you've got Josh Hoover, who's a third-year returning veteran. He's not had a terrible season. I think last season he was averaging around 60-65% pass completions, which isn't terrible for TCU. I mean, they had a pretty stellar program the year before, but is UNC ready? I don't know. Distractions everywhere.
I have never seen a more hyped program that we know absolutely nothing about.
Exactly.
We don't know anything. He I don't even know if he still has released their starting lineup. Seriously, I don't think he's released a starting lineup yet.
Nope.
We literally know nothing about them. We believe that their quarterback is going to be Gio Lopez, who is a running quarterback, but that's all we know about him. We don't know anything else about the system. So I think this is a really hard game to even have an opinion about, other than Bill Belichick's coaching college kids. And we don't his transfer portal patchwork. Is it going to come together and work? I don't know. I have no opinion about this game, except I think TCU is going to win.
I agree. I agree. I don't feel this is really tough, because Bill Belichick is one of the greatest football coaches of all time. The question is, will it translate to college as piss poor as his season at the Patriots was when he left? It leaves a lot to be desired, sir. And all your girlfriend did all summer was distract us from what is going on down there in Chapel Hill. We don't know. And I think, unfortunately, there's been so many and this is what he was doing. There's so many distractions that UNC is going to come out and whoop on TCU. And then, he's officially established himself as the new Nick Saban. We'll see. But I think that there are going to be so many eyes on Jordan and where she is and what she's doing and how she's going to be impacting the game and what her influence is. And has she distracted Bill Belichick so much that he can't even coach college football? That no one's going to be talking about it.
Right?
I think she'll have a headset.
Do you think she'll have one?
I think she'll have a headset. I think that she will be everywhere and nowhere at the same time. I think she will be on the sidelines. I think she will be up in the box with the coordinators. I think she will be in the stands. I think she'll be in the locker room. I think she'll be
Is she helping
Lee Corso.
Call plays with her little I see that they're doing this. I
think she's going to be doing signs. I think she's going to be giving signs. I think she's going to be. I do. I think that she's infiltrated the program and she's in it. She's the puppet master.
She was the original Connor Stallions.
Mm-hmm. We never even saw her coming because her skirt was so short. So we will see.
And we love everyone on this podcast who's listening to this so much that we've missed the kickoff of Auburn-Baylor and Colorado-Georgia Tech.
We have to. Okay, but we got to talk about Colorado-Georgia Tech. I know that they are kicking off right now, but Neon Dion and the Buffs. What do we think?
I know. I wish I was there right now.
I know.
I don't know. I mean, this is the team I should know about because I live here, but literally nobody has really talked that much about it. I don't know what we're going to do without Daddy Ball. Shiloh and Shador are gone. He's got, some good quarterback talent, but Again,
He
I
only just
have
named
not
baby
heard
Caden on
anything.
Tuesday. He just named Caden Salter as their starting quarterback on Tuesday, and, like, we don't know anything about him other than, like, he's a fifth-year senior. He came from Liberty. Like, he's, oddly enough, a dual threat, which I guess that is just Dion's specialty right now is
Yeah.
to find dual threats out there. But I don't know. I think veteran Haynes King is going to come and rain down on the Buffaloes. I've got my money on Georgia Tech.
Buffs are up 7-0.
Shit.
7 minutes
Might
left
eat
in the
my
first.
words.
Well, yeah, and they just got a turnover on downs. Georgia Tech did. So we'll see. We'll see. You know, Boulder on a Friday night's kind of wild. Bit wild.
Just sacrificing his organs for the sake of that football program. God bless that man.
I know.
Keep it together. Don't fall apart on us yet, Dion.
What about Auburn? Can we talk a little about Auburn? Just like a hair, like a skosh, just like a hair.
I mean, we can, but for all I know, they're down there just falling down and claiming someone pushed them, and then they're just going to get some extra yardage because their player got hurt. I mean, I don't know what they're doing down there.
And call another national championship.
They're so focused on the Dothan Times naming them national champions in 1929 that they're not even focused on the right things. Like, I don't know if you saw all the different like news organizations that they claim they were national champions. That's what they're claiming. It's like the New York City Business Journal claimed that they won a national championship because like another team's plane crashed right after they won the game or something like that.
One of the national championships, I think it was 93 that they're claiming they were on probation. Like, you can't win a national championship. They were banned from postseason. Like, you can't. So 1910, they were 6-1. That title belongs to 9-0 Pitt. Like, how are you going to say that you were better than a 9-0 team when you were 6-1? 1913, they were 8-0, but the title belongs to 9-0 Harvard.
My
1914,
God, they're like
1914,
half the other team went to war, so we won.
And in 1914, 8-0 and a tie, so 8-0-1. Title belongs to 9-0 Army. So back to war. Here we are. Army won that one. 57, 10-0, finished AP number 1. That could be a real title. And they already have that one marked down. That's like a legit one. 58, 9-0-1. Title belongs to 11-0 LSU.
I will tell you what I told everyone when I found out that Swiftie and Travis Kelce got engaged. Boo. A boo. Boo on Auburn.
Listen, I'm getting my pen out again. I am pissed and I'm so disappointed that I found out about that damn engagement from ESPN.
Like, Shifty should have lost his job that day. He should have lost his job that day.
I got an ESPN alert before anything else to announce that engagement. I was so disappointed. Is this what we've resulted to? Really?
Everything, like, Shefty is trying so hard to stay relevant after he screwed the pooch with all that Tom Brady stuff that he's just reporting on everything. As long as he's first, he's just got to tell somebody. Anything else, my guy.
From the ESPN app, and I'm like, are you kidding me?
I don't care. Rage bait me. I don't care. I don't care about Taylor Swift. I don't care. It's like the most boring thing I've ever talked about in my entire life. I don't care.
I'd like her a little more if she just messed up every once in a while. Just screw up. Get a little red lipstick on your teeth. Like, something. Get drunk and fall down. Like, call somebody out. Be mean to somebody. Like, just do something every once in a while. She's a robot.
Like, she is, like, so bland and boring. Like, she is the Times New Roman, the mayonnaise, the freaking White Sox of just life. She's so boring and dull. And I don't understand. I really don't get it. It's like all of a sudden people know what football is because she went to a football game. And, like, everyone's like, oh, well, now she's like a college football savant. Is she? Welcome to college football, Taylor Swift. We've all been here already.
She looked bored as hell at that Cincinnati-Nebraska game last night, too.
Because she's boring.
Because, I mean, she's just like, just going to continue to sip my vodka because that's more fun than being here.
She's so boring.
Unpopular opinion.
I don't
Taylor
care.
Swift, mess up a little bit if you want to join our world.
You know what? Go on Hot Ones, because I want to see what kind of chicken wings you can stand to eat. And then we can talk about you, like, joining the podcast or doing anything remotely fun. Like, I need to see you do something fun. I am bored to death. Like, your name bores me to death. I'm bored. And now I'm bored of Travis Kelce, who used to be like one of my favorite tight ends of all time. Boo. Boo. Next.
Next. Do we have any other teams? I mean, we can't cover all of them.
No, I just think there's just so much going on. I mean, we forgot to talk about the UGA game, but they're playing like Louisiana Monroe or, I don't know, Southwestern Illinois School of the Blind, so it doesn't matter. Like,
didn't even make the list. Remotely make the list.
Way too many games going on. But boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, with that, it is week 1 of college football. We will see you next week. Until then, stay classy.
Stay classy and stay hydrated, my friends.
Bye.
We're gonna throw down some punches. We might get knocked on the ground. We're gonna use our hot dope and know we're not going